Today we are covering some of the most groundbreaking video games ever to exist. Nintendo's poster child, their beloved F-Zero.
F-Zero, otherwise known as Nintendo's most prominent franchise throughout the years.
I fooled all three of you F-Zero fans that actually exist. Nah, we're actually covering the 3D Mario games.
Mario has always been influential to the gaming industry. It pioneered platforming games with the OG, and every time a new Mario game would release, it would set MySpace on fire. In other words, every Mario game was anticipated and praised by all video game lovers at the time. And then Mario 64 released, and boom, Mario was once again venturing into the unknown. 3 dimensions, and it was a critical and commercial success. Everyone was talking about the game where you could parkour on the Z-axis. Today I'll be ranking the 8 of these mostly monumental games for their time. Just keep in mind that I don't hate any of these games, I just prefer some to others.
Number 8.
Now, I know what you're thinking. It's unfair to compare an add-on to full-fledged games. But I just feel like Bowser's Fury is a big boy now that Nathaniel Bandy said it's better than Mario Odyssey. Like, what the heck? Everyone put invisible dislikes on that video. Anyways, now this game has some big issues that isn't that it's just too short, lol. My biggest problem with the game is what it's named after, Bowser's Fury. The Fury mechanic is so annoying, like just let me explore the beautiful world you have crafted without Bowser interrupting me every freaking 5 minutes. And the boss fights are just a pathetic excuse to show off Goku anime furry Mario. And another problem is the game that it's bundled with. Mario 3D World is one of the most fun games out there, so I always wanted to replay 3D World for the 100th time instead of playing Bowser's Fury. But I really love that Nintendo added this to a port because effort and port are not usually in the same sentence for Nintendo. This game does have a great soundtrack and the levels are pretty fun, and saving power-ups for later and strategizing when to use them is loads of fun. So this game isn't horrible by any means necessary. Numero 7. To be frank, I have absolutely no recollection of this game, but I remember playing it a lot as baby Clutchathan, but now looking back on it, it's a pretty bare bones game and a generic game for 3D Mario standards. But I really appreciate all the good memories it gave me as a young 8-year-old in love with this 3DS. How do you say number 6 in Italian? Mario Sunshine, the game in the series I'm most torn on, and I'm pretty sure that it's not an unpopular opinion, but Sunshine is the most janky and unfair 3D Mario out there. I used to think that 64 was bad until I played this jank fest. Okay, that was too harsh, but I don't think this is an unplayable game, no, not at all. Besides Odyssey, this game has the best Mario moveset, and it's always a blast running around this tropical paradise. You have the dive, which is so fun to use because you can combine it with Flood and pull off some crazy shenanigans. Even if it was janky, I always was having fun in this game because of his top tier moveset. Flood is such a broken mechanic, but it's made this game so much more fun. The level design here is a mixed bag. Bianco Hills, Noki Bay, and Rico Harbor are all standouts. But on the other hand, Gelato Beach, Pianta Village, and Pina Park frustrated me to my utter core. But I loved everything about Noki Bay. It was a masterclass of open, non-linear level design. All the missions were fun and quirky, like giving the boss a dentist checkup or scaling the huge mountain to purify the bay. Also, Noki Bay gave me my most memorable death in the franchise and the secret level in the shell. Y'all just watch and silently judge me. Okay, back to the negatives. Along with the unfair deaths and the poor level design with some stages, this game has the worst soundtrack out of any of these 3D games. I'm not saying that it's awful, but literally Bianco Hills, Rico Harbor, and Delfino Plaza are the only memorable songs in this game. They all have a tropical sound to it, and most of the tracks in this game have the Isle Delfino motif, which makes it tough to distinguish them from one another. I have not one time listened to this original soundtrack outside of the game besides for this video. I know this soundtrack has its fans, but I'm definitely not one of them. To recap, this game is really flawed, but I always have fun when I boot it up because the movement is so addicting. And how could I forget the Oscar-worthy voice acting?
That shadow! Those were the juicy. What's this icky paint like goo? It's moving!
No, boys, don't touch that stuff.
Welcome back to the Oscars, and the three male actors that are nominated this year for Male Actor of the Year are Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Toadsworth. So it was a tough competition. Toadsworth gave it his all in Mario Sunshine, and Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks for good in Toy Story. But the winner of this year is none other than Toadsworth. Come on up, buddy. That's just outstanding performance.
Come on. Ha, sicker than your average. Pop a twist.
The fifth number in the American numerical system. Mario 64, the one that started it all. One of the most chadliest, manliest games of all time. Step aside, Call of Duty.
I beat Mario 64 Lethal Lava Land with all 7 stars. You heard that right, ladies. One at a time.
Yes, the joke isn't lying. I have not beat Mario 64 in its entirety, but I got insanely close. I was 2 stars away, and I just could not take Rainbow Ride anymore. This is definitely one of the hardest 3D platformers I've ever played, but my gosh, is it fun. This game is a freaking masterpiece for 1996. It introduced the world to the Z-axis. 64 was such a pioneer for all of gaming. That definitely came with some downfalls though. The controls and the camera are quite bad, but however, the moveset is really good. The long jump is just cracked out. The dive is really inconsistent, but fun. The triple jump is awesome. And dang, does the wall jump suck, but I'll let it slide. Sliding levels are iconic in this game, but I don't really like them that much. Now, the level design in Mario 64 is overall better than Sunshine, but there are still a lot of stinkers like Rainbow Ride, Dire Docks, and Wet Dry World. But all the levels at the beginning of the game are really incredible and ease you into the game very, very well. Bomb Bomb Battlefield and Whomp's Fortress are two of my favorite levels in this game. Bomb Bomb Battlefield is an all-time classic in the Mario series. It's just a vast area with obstacles that let you explore and collect stars to your heart's content, and in any order you want. And then at the top of the mountain, King Bomb Bomb resides. You beat him, you get a star. Whomp's Fortress has a similar layout, but with more obstacles and enemies. This is the perfect 64 level in my opinion. All 8 of the stars are a blast to collect, and it's not unfair for 1 second. I feel like the level design progressively gets worse in this game, and it's a darn shame because Lethal Lava Land is a hard level done right. Lethal Lava Land is probably my second favorite level in the whole game, but TikTok and Rainbow Road can go die in a hole. Koji Kondo's score is the definition of iconic. If you play video games at all, you've heard one of these songs at least one time in your life. Koji Kondo composed a lot of people's childhoods, and this is no exception. And this soundtrack makes me feel nostalgic for a 90s childhood I never had. Dire Docks is one of the best video game songs of all time. Every time I listen to it, it puts me into a relaxed state. Bomb Bomb Battlefield, Slider, Peach's Castle, Koopa's Road, Bowser's Theme are all classics that's been remixed by future Mario games. Koji Kondo, you absolute madman. And Mario 64 by far has the best speedrunning community I've ever seen of any game. It's so impressive watching 16-star runs and 120-star runs. And I love practicing the speedrun tech in Whomp's Fortress, aka the only level I'm good at in the game. Mario 64, the most competitive speedrun game of all time, but yet a new category has been made. 0 star, no Bowser category. And it wasn't possible until a young man by the name of Matt Turk discovered the instant BLJ cancel roll dive wave dash castle skip. And at first this did not seem humanly possible at all. But yet, one lucky gamer made it possible. And believe it or not, this lucky gamer that figured out how to do the instant BLJ cancel roll dive wave dash castle skip was gifted the Nobel Prize, and this gamer's name was Clutchathan. This is the story of the most niche Mario speedrun. Mario 3D World, aka the most underrated game in the series, and I am so glad the Switch port gave it a fresh start and now people love it. People trashed it for being a generic Mario game at launch just because it was a sequel to 3D Land, and they wanted to sandbox Mario like 64 or Sunshine, since Galaxy and Galaxy 2 and 3D Land were all on the more linear side. But now that Mario Odyssey scratched that sandbox itch, people are starting to open their eyes regarding this masterpiece of a game. First off, the level design is fantastic from start to finish. It never puts any pointless filler in. Every level is bite-sized, pure, unrivaled joy. I can't think of a level I dislike in this game, and that's partially the reason I've beat 3D World like 20 times. And it's not just the levels are well designed, they are so memorable. Sprawling Savannah, Piranha Creeper Creek, Hands-on Hall, Double Cherry Pass, Condor Canyon, Simmering Lava Lake, and many, many more. I'll just never forget these as long as I live. From the visuals to the level design to the gimmicks to the power-ups and the music, everything just culminates into a full course meal of Mario goodness. And now for what the game is known for, the multiplayer. It's a blast. The added competitive drive to it is absolutely fantastic. Whoever plays the best is rewarded a crown, and whoever wins the crown, the others will throw them into the void. Yeah, me and my sisters used to throw each other off the level all the time. This is fictional, but if I ever get a wife, we will play Mario 3D World, and if she throws me off,
I'm filing a divorce, babe.
my character of choice in this game has always been my main man, Luigi. I love his high jumping abilities. I also like Toad, he's insanely fast, especially in the Switch port. He looks like me running from the cops. Just kidding, just kidding.
Obviously the cops would catch me.
And now for the pure bliss and magnificence this soundtrack is. These last 4 soundtracks on the list are some of my all-time favorites, and 3D World is no exception. After Galaxy and Galaxy 2's primarily orchestral score, Nintendo said, "You like jazz?" and jazzified Mario, and good lord does it fit so perfectly. But it's not like Cuphead, because 3D World has some amazing orchestra music too. Like, I didn't skip a beat with Galaxy. If you put me at gunpoint, I would still prefer Galaxy 2's OST, but dang, this one is close. You can just feel all of the musicians' passion with this soundtrack. I've been humming each and every one of these tracks for at least 8 years now. Back then, I loved this soundtrack, and to this day, I still listen to it all the time. Oh, I forgot to mention a flaw. The levels can be really short sometimes, leaving you wanting more of that gimmick, but it's not a huge problem. The biggest reason this game isn't higher is that it doesn't feel like an epic journey like both Galaxies and Odyssey, and the top 3 are just untouchable masterpieces. So poor 3D World got the short end of the stick, but I still can't express enough how good this game is and how addicting its levels are. If you haven't played 3D World yet, please play the game. I highly recommend it. And I recommend getting it on the Switch because it's the definitive version in my opinion. It enhances the speed a lot, and quality of life changes were made. Oh yeah, and it adds Bowser's Fury. That'll give your thumb something to do for like 5 hours. I'm triggering a lot of people right now, but you know what? Don't care, didn't ask, plus ratio, plus cope, plus deal with it, plus go fall off a cliff. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Mario Galaxy is one of them games that make you feel like a kid again. The nostalgia that emits from this thing is crazy. And I played it for the first time a year ago, and I was in awe of everything from the atmosphere, the gravity gimmick, the soundtrack. I literally could not stop smiling the whole time I was playing it. I even smiling while writing the script. Honestly, if I grew up with this game, it'd probably be number 1. I can just see how much this game means to a ton of people online. I mean, who doesn't love the grandiose adventures of a fat Italian in space?
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Y'all don't know how bad I want to put this in first, but it does have some issues like the moveset is subpar, which is justified with the good level design. Notice I didn't say great level design. Okay, so a lot of the galaxies are perfect, like Melty Molten, Freeze Flame, Good Egg, Honey Hive, Space Junk, Battle Rock. But the motion control galaxies suck, even though they are far and few in between. The gravity can be a bit much at times, the swimming is atrocious without the shell, and a lot of the missions are pretty boring, and just reskins of other missions. With all that out of the way, this is Mario freaking Galaxy. It's a timeless video game that revolutionized Mario once again. The atmosphere is beautiful in this game. My favorite example of atmosphere is Space Junk Galaxy. The empty black void of space is just staring you right into the face. There's debris and space rocks floating about, and then the song that plays in the level amplifies the melancholic feeling not ever replicated in a Mario game. The song is just so perfect with this level. The design of the actual level with the pool stars is not too special, but the atmosphere and the music just elevates this galaxy to one of the best in the game. And this great atmosphere is present in the rest of the game too, but in my opinion, it just peaks in Space Junk. Honestly, I think Mario Galaxy has the best bosses out of any of these games. Odyssey is close, but I just love Boulder Guys, King Caliente, Major Burrows, and of course Bowser. The Bowser fights in this game are the definition of pure epicness. It's so fun whacking him around the planetoids while the choir is chanting in the background. No other final Bowser fight comes even close to topping Galaxies. The story of Galaxy puts a dramatic flair to the normal formula. Like Rosalina's backstory. If you've been living under a rock for the past few years and haven't played this game, I won't spoil. The gravity gimmick that I mentioned earlier is amazing, but like I said, it has its issues too. Like not knowing what to input when you're upside down. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you've played it before, you know what I'm talking about. Galaxy is always throwing new ideas at you left and right, like Bee Mario, a galaxy that's made of fire and ice, using dandelions to soar through the sky, invading a battle station and blowing it up, etc, etc. I adore the variety in this game. Granted, it's 70% hits and 30% misses. Now for the soundtrack. Legend says composer Mahito Yokota was struggling writing music for Galaxy, and he went to his mentor Koji Kondo, and he said, "You got it all wrong. Mario isn't cute. Mario is cool."
He's so cool.
So Yokota proceeded to write one of the best scores in the series, with help of Koji Kondo, because he wrote Rosalina's Observatory, a song that gradually gets more and more grand as you progress through the game. The first variant that plays at the beginning of the game just has a xylophone, flute, and a background cello, and by the end of the game the whole orchestra joins in on that action. And the tone of the music can shift so dramatically, like 1 minute it's happy-go-lucky. And then the next minute it will sound like a grand space adventure. And every now and then it will shift to some of the most tranquil music ever written. And of course, the most joyful and epic track in this whole game.
You are not the We are good! We are good!
Shame on you, you thought I was going to say Gusty Garden. You Are Not the Father is an underrated track in this game. But just like the level design, there are some unforgettable tracks in this game, mostly the ones that aren't orchestrated. But when that orchestra crescendos, it puts chills all over me. But I can't understate Mario Galaxy's influence on gaming as a whole. It changed the landscape with the graphical abilities of the Wii, and not only did it change gaming for good, it also changed real life. Mario Galaxy was so influential, they made space a real thing. No freaking way.
We're doing a sequel. We're back by popular demand.
The Blue Pill. This is a popular opinion everyone will love you for. It has your favorite level design of the series and your favorite soundtrack, or the Red Pill, Mario Odyssey. Which will it be, Neo? Which will it be? This is the question you've been debating the whole time you've been writing this script. What is your favorite game? Mario Odyssey or Mario Galaxy 2? But ultimately, I chose Yeah, as much as it pains me, Galaxy 2 is the runner-up. This game was dead set at number 1 when I first started to write this script. The level design is just flawless, best in the Mario series. It was like if Mario Galaxy kept going, but they weeded out the annoying things. The motion control levels are still here, but they're hardly an issue. The gravity takes a backstage for most of the part, just so Nintendo could absolutely flex their creative muscles. One monumental thing that sets this game from the rest is, drumroll, wait for it, my dog Yoshi. Yoshi is my favorite character in the Mario series, and he is such an amazing addition. And he is utilized in this game better than any other game. I mean, Sunshine 64 had him in it, but one was just an Easter egg and the other just had bulimia. Yoshi can eat up enemies, fire spinies, swing with his tongue, flutter kick, get fit. Glow up, and he can run like the wind. So basically every level with Yoshi in it is incredible. But honestly, so are all the other ones. Cloudy Courts is like heaven in Mario form. Also, the Cloud Power-Up is second best in the series behind Cat Mario. Cosmic Cove is a serene water world that can be frozen over at the press of a button. Oh, Puzzle Plank is so good, and the music, Melting Monster is such a good fire level. It's gold, Jerry, gold! Throwback Galaxy is Womp's Fortress remade in the Galaxy engine with a big band remix of the song. Talk Trunk utilizes thick Yoshi and sliding levels from 64, and of course, the final level is utterly fantastic. The best in the series by a mile, and it combines all of your skills and power-up abilities to a test. And it even has Yoshi in a final level! And I'm just scratching the surface with its unmatched line of banger levels. Gosh, after talking for like 40 seconds straight, I need a water break. I forgot I was on a strict anti-water diet. Dang it! What's sad though is I've only played Mario Galaxy 2 all the way through one time, and that's because my Wiimote stopped working, and every time I try to play it, it has a bad case of Joy-Con syndrome and makes Mario run off the cliff to his demise. But that one time I played through this work of art of a video game, it was some of the most fun I've ever had with a game. I'll miss you, Mario Galaxy 2. I'll miss you. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss. This game's story is really as bare bones and as dry as it gets, and it's a big step down from Galaxy 1, and the atmosphere and feeling of space and the great unknown is far gone. But Galaxy 2 takes a more lighthearted approach to its atmosphere. Besides Cosmic Cove, that galaxy's atmosphere is out of this world. Hint, get it because Mario's in space? But those flaws and the fact that I've only played it once doesn't take away from the fact that the level design is goated, and of course the soundtrack. Like I mentioned earlier, it is the magnum opus of Mario soundtracks. It has the perfect variety between perfectly remixed classics and epic jazzy or calming original songs. How can this not be peak Mario music? The remixes of all the classics are really something special, like Bomb Bomb Battlefield Remix, Mario World Ghost House, Slider, and the list goes on and on. This soundtrack is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And so is the next game on this list. Okay, so I plan to cover Mario Odyssey extensively in a video later down the line, so I'm just going to talk briefly about it right now. Mario Odyssey has the best controls out of any game I've ever played in my life, and the moveset is just top tier, amazing. It's so fun pulling all these moves off, and that is why I made this montage of not all, but some of my clips from Mario Odyssey. And I just hope y'all enjoyed this. I even edited it on Filmora. So this is my love letter to Mario Odyssey for right now, before I make like a 30-minute video on it later down the line.
another extremely long video in the books, and I hope you enjoyed it because I definitely enjoyed making it. And I just really, really hope that y'all aren't mad at me for cutting Mario Odyssey a little bit short. I promise that I will make a long video about the game because I love it so much, and I've replayed it about 4 billion times. So, anyways, it's time for me to go make more Summoning Salt parodies. See you guys later. Ba-na-ma-na-ba-na-ba-boom!